Welcome back everyone to another Coach Blakers video. We'll be going over patch notes 12.14. There's some pretty big changes to some champions, to some items, and obviously to some drags. So, dragons, I want to really see what's going on and what their thought process is going through that and how it's really going to change the game. Also, if you guys didn't know, on my site, if it's your first time being coached by me, use the code FIRST when you check out, and you'll have a coaching session for 15 bucks. Like I said, it's your first session only. If you are not a first-time student and you use it, it will not work. So remember, make sure that you're a first-time student. I've never coached you before. Go ahead and go to my site. Use that code FIRST. This is a limited time offer, and your session will be $15 instead of the usual price, which is $50. So make sure you hop on that if you guys are interested. Now let's get into these patch notes. So the reason I don't have my camera on, by the way, is because there was no stream today. Ranked was down, so I didn't bother doing one, so I don't have my camera on. It's just me going through the patch notes. Hope you guys don't miss me too much. So we had Aatrox. Health growth increased. Ease healing passive decreased late. Our bonus healing decreased late. So I actually, before I do patch notes, I actually like playing the game. So I play the game within Aatrox, a few of them, and this is definitely nasty. Doesn't matter what they build. Again, Aatrox is still among the top champs that I think you should play if you're gonna play some top lane. Pretty nuts. I mean, the information's right there. He's a little bit tankier. Healing is a little bit less on his E, but it's a little bit stronger when he ults. So, is what it is. Actually, it's not even stronger when he ults. They griefed. It's lower. Wait, did I read that wrong? Our bonus healing decreased late. Oh, I did. I thought it said increase late. Oh, dang. Okay, so he's hit with a nerf. I mean, it's still pretty nasty. Don't get me wrong. It's not really that big of a nerf. Still, like I said, one of the top champs you should play. Aleister, Q mana cost decreased at all ranks. Cooldown decreased at all ranks. Doesn't really matter. I guess it just helps him being able to pulverize a little bit more in fights, but for the most part, it doesn't really matter. Gangplank. So I read this one. So I briefly glanced over patch notes before I full out do a video. I read this and I thought this was insane. Base health and base armor decreased. Health growth increased. Passive now scales with crit chance. Q damage decrease early, increase late. E slow reduce. Slow now scales with crit chance. Bonus physical damage decrease early and increase late. Bonus damage on crits reduced. So I feel like they're not really sure what they're trying to do with this champ yet. He is still super strong. Having the crit chance on his trial by fire means that he does have to get a little bit closer. He has to be a little bit more in these fights instead of just popping barrels and one-shotting players. So I do like that. His Q damage decreased early. I'm guessing it just helps with not having to lane versus that crap as bad. Not really impacting much later, obviously here. Powder cake. Slow amount. So I actually like this too, because I felt like his flat slow amount was a little high, but the fact that you have to build crit now in order for it to affect the slow, kind of like Twitch with AP. I still think that's a thing. AP Twitch has a bigger slow on his E than AD Twitch. I mean on his W, I'm sorry. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think that's actually insane. And then, bonus damage on crit is reduced. So I think they're still trying to balance him, but I do think if you're a really good player and you can play Gangplank, that champ is like a 1v9 champion for sure. Gnar, base health decrease, health regeneration, growth decreased. Mini Gnar hasn't been quite as vulnerable during his laning phase as we like to. We're looking to reduce his base health and base regeneration growth so that he may be a bit more punishable at close range, similar to other ranged top laners. But he's taking Fleet of Footwork, so how much is this really gonna impact him? I'm curious to see how this will work. Janana. E base shield amount increased at all ranks. Bonus heal and shield power decrease. R heal per second increase at all ranks. AP scaling. So this is a fun fact for me. I had no clue her E granted bonus healed and shield power. I had no clue. So pretty much the passive is if you hit somebody with a Q or with a W, or is it maybe it's with a Q or an R. I'm pretty sure it's QW. I don't think R matters, but it could. your healing and shielding power is increased. I was like, no wonder it seems like things are very, very hard to kill when we're playing against Janna. I don't know why I never knew that. It must be a new change that I just never paid attention to, but that's actually nuts, man. It's nuts. So yeah, anyway, back to the thing here. So the shield amount is being increased. Bonus healed and shield power is being decreased. Heal per second is now scaling harder with AP, but she doesn't really typically build a lot of AP. Like actual like an AP champion, you know, she's more like the supportive champ. So I wonder if that's gonna make Janna players like build more AP. I don't think so. It doesn't look like that much of a change, but it'll be interesting to see something like that. Jarvan, Q AD scaling increase, E cooldown now decreases with rank. I actually think that was a good change for sure. It doesn't make him super viable though. I still think Jarvan needs a lot of buffs, but that's a good change. Health growth increase, passive Rost healing based on damage dealt decreased. I still think Kayn is really busted. Rost. Blue Kayn doesn't really matter to me. But I think Red Kayn is actually ridiculously OP. So I don't know what they're going to do. But I think that champ is really busted right now. Leblanc, base mana and mana growth increase. W damage increased late. So they wanted to scale a little bit harder. I don't think that'll do much for her. I think that's just like a little buff to see what's going to happen, honestly. Nocturne, passive adjusted. No longer deals 50% reduced damage against minions that are the primary target. No, will still do 50% reduced damage to all the minions damaged by Nocturne's passive. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know that it deals 50% less damage to your primary target. Huh. That's actually pretty cool. That's really nice. Pantheon Q damage to monsters increase. So I read this and they wanted to make Jungle Pantheon a little bit more viable. Now, I don't think that's ever going to be a thing. I think he's just not good enough to be viable. And a lot of you guys that play Pantheon might be like, well, you can Pantheon Jungle. You can. I was definitely one of those players that Pantheon Jungle, and with this buff, it definitely makes it easier. But the issue for Pantheon Jungle, he plays like an Aleister. You know, you have to look for ganks. You have to force this type of stuff. And a lot of the times, playstyles like that tend for you to end. And he doesn't scale that well. So there's other champs that you can play that kind of do what he does and is more useful. I think they're just pushing him into that jungle role just because he's not really having fun in lane. And I don't think that that is a good choice. They should probably make him stronger in like mid lane or stronger in support where people actually play him more than they play him jungle. That's my thought on it though. Renata, base health and base AD decreased. Okay. Seraphine definitely needs a nerf. W shield and heal AP scaling decrease 100% needed. I wish they would reduce the speed of which she gets, the movement speed, and then also reduce the amount of time, I think, stunned or charm. I don't know, honestly. Seraphine's just annoying. Like I feel like she's too good. Her kit is just too good. Like you have to change the kit, not the numbers, but we'll see what that does. Sivir, Q bug fix, W damage to minions decrease, now execute minions below threshold. So I read that and I thought this was pretty nutty. Although she can't shove as hard as she would like to, it still executes them, so you don't have to last it that well. So I'm interested to see how this would work. I still think Sivir is really good right now, but I also think that you have to know how to play her. Too many Sivers don't know how to play her, so I hope that dies down pretty soon. Teemo, mana growth increase, R range increase early, AP scaling increase, mana cost now scales down with rank. What did I just read? Okay. So they're just buffing the shrooms. Alright then. Base AD increase. Alright then. Wukong base health regeneration increase. Why? Oh, okay. Passive health regeneration per stack decreased. Okay, I like that actually. Good nerf, good nerf. Yumi with the Zoomy. EAP scaling decreased. So her heals do less. Yumi's been having as much fun as a cat with a ball of yarn since the durability update. Yeah, I knew she would. I knew that was going to be nuts for her. As one of the League of Legends premier enchanters, we're dampening the amount of healing she can output to bring her more in line with other supports. Soraka needs to nerf too. Don't forget about her now. Zeri. Ooh, Q passive adjusted. Our bonus magic damage decrease. This is interesting because I do want to play Zeri when I play my ADC account. I want to play Zeri. I want to like try to one trick her. So this is gonna be pretty fun. Zeri's abilities to win duels and wave push due to her increased damage to low health enemies has made her unfairy to her opponents. We're opting to preserve this mechanic as a tool to help her last hit minions, but eliminating strengths when it comes to dealing with low health enemies more broadly. Right clicks executes enemies with health under 60 to 150 enemies. Like actual like champions or no? Uncharged. Zeri's right-click attack no longer does increased damage to enemies below a certain health threshold. I'm guessing that's not champions. Especially because they say enemies. Usually they'll say champs when they mean champs. Because I was like, if you can just one-shot somebody like that, bro, no. Our lightning crash. That definitely needed a little bit of a nerf. I'm glad that they did that too. Kim Punk Chainsword. The combined cost is more expensive. Total cost is more expensive. Huh? They really don't want us buying Grievous Wounds, huh? Enchanter items. Forbidden Idol, heal and shield power increase. So they just decrease. I'm not going to read all that, but these are pretty much support item nerfs. If you guys want to read through that, you guys can. But that's just all of them. Sunfire Aegis. Or Sunfire Aegis. So I think this item definitely needed a nerf. But the thing is, the percent health is up. Let me see. Sunfire Aegis has started to emerge as a powerful second item for DPS champions. While fighters have dipped into other tank items before, Sunfire offers the most stats and potential and potent damage compared to other options. We're adjusting Sunfire so its damage output is more strongly tied to health stacking. Oh. I mean, they did need a nerf, but I was just wondering what it meant by like the bonus health thing. Potions and runes. So I'm not really sure how this potion thing, like if somebody in the comments below would love to tell me, I'm not sure how this little potion changed, if that's anybody. I think that it was kind of like but who knows. Biscuit delivery also got changed. Bone plating, 55-second cooldown instead of 45. Conditioning got decreased and their percent got decreased. So instead of 9 armor and magic resist, it went to 8 armor and magic resist, unfortunately. And then instead of 4% increase to total armor and magic resist, 3% in total armor and magic resist. And I don't know if a lot of you guys knew that conditioning did that, but it does offer that armor. But then it also offers a 4%, but now it's 3% increase to total armor and magic resist. That means just by getting armor and magic resist, you're getting more armor and magic resist, which is why a lot of tanky champs seem extremely tanky because of that. If you guys didn't know, that's how conditioning worked. Guardian. Cooldown is now increased early. Scorch. Does a little bit. Oh no, they made it do more damage. Period. Okay. Second wind. The regeneration rate is lower. Okay. Sudden impact. Higher lethality and magic penetration. Poggers. Time Wart Tunic. Instead of 4%, it's 2%. Unflinching. This was a pretty big one that I noticed that was a nerf too. I was kind of sad about this. Instead of 10% to 30% based on missing health, it's 5% to 25% based on missing health. Wait, am I trolling? That's a good thing. Hold on. I thought I read that differently. Do they tell us? Nope, they don't. So this means you get the tenacity early. I thought they were reducing tenacity. That's why I was like, that sucks. But what they're doing is making it activate earlier. Oh, wait, no, I'm tripping. I'm sorry. You have to be lower for it to activate. Instead of being 30%, 10 to... Wait, what? 10 to 30% based on missing health. Oh, no, I was reading it right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, like I said. It sucks if they were reducing that. I was like, what? Am I reading it wrong? The first time I read it, I swore I read it that it was reducing tenacity and magic and slow resistance, but yeah, it is. So instead of 10% to 30, it's 5 to 25. So you don't get the 30%, unfortunately. Challenging Smite. I don't know how I feel about this. I play all the roles, so I've kind of been on both sides of the spectrum. in one hand, reducing this 10% is kind of good, but the other hand is it kind of sucks because there's a lot of champions that are laners that junglers can't really deal with, and having the red smite is crucial. So like, for example, a Darius or a Lowy or like a Fed AD carry, you know, stuff like that type of thing. Like, it's a way to counteract that when like laners are really strong. So I'm wondering how bad that will impact some of the junglers. Exhaust target damage reduction. They definitely needed to reduce the damage reduction because honestly, ADCs are just taking exhaust a lot more. You're starting to see double exhaust as well. Dragoons. Okay. Do I want to read all this? Let's read it. As mentioned above, early game is currently becoming much slower, which has led to a meta shift focusing on scaling team comps. Players have become more comfortable conceding early objectives in order to reach their late game win conditions. I've seen that too. In order to increase the priority of early game objectives, we're going to be increasing the reward for early Drake and Rift Herald takes. Individual Drake buffs are currently too low impact, as players will more likely prioritize them due to the threat of the soul and less for the individual buffs themselves. That's true. In order to make Drake buffs more meaningful, we'll be increasing the buff values of each by roughly 50%, and even more for Cloud Drake. In addition, we'll be decreasing the damage output of Drakes across the board to increase the board in exchange for more durability so that teams have more time to contest Drake. That's what I was saying on stream. I was like, they did that because they needed to make it so that players can't just like run down a dragon. Like, you could take dragons fast, but now it's really slow. It's hard. In a similar vein, we're now increasing the value of Rift Herald by making Shelly drop local gold, which is good. We're also increasing the amount of health on the second Rift Herald to increase its value and priority relative to the first, so that it's ignored less often. I mean, I never ignored them at all, but you know, maybe that's a high elo thing or pro player thing. Drake changes to all Drakes. Percentage current health damage on attacks is lowered. Health pre-rift transformation, so it's just tankier pre-rift and it's tankier post-rift. And that post-rift, especially Mountain Dragon, my god, good luck taking that bad boy. The attack damage on Cloud Drake is lowered. Instead of 3.5% slow resist and out of combat movement speed, it's now 7%. Cloud Soul, instead of 10%, it's now 50% bonus move speed and 50% move speed for 6 seconds after casting an ultimate. Hextech Drake attack damage is now lowered. The buff for it is now 9% attack speed and 9 ability haste. That's actually really good. When I got that, I felt that for some of the champions that I used. Inferno Dragon, 4% to 6% bonus attack damage and ability power. Mountain Dragon, 9% bonus armor metric resist, which is really good. Ocean Dragon, instead of 2%, is 3% mixing. And then health for the Elder Dragon is freaking monstrous. Rift Herald, chunky. Rift Herald now has 75% more health when summoned with Eye of the Herald for the second time. Rift Herald now grants 200 local gold to the team that killed it. Local gold, if you guys didn't know, means that you have to be near it, or you have to like assist. It's kind of like getting tower plates. Think of it like that. Oh, okay, Void Mama drama. We're coming close, chat, or not chat. I'm thinking about streaming. We're coming close to the end of the year. You guys better get those ranks up. Behavioral systems. You will now be able to see which teammates honored you if you hover over their honor icon at the end of the screen. What? I want to. That's pretty good. Because I'll be wondering who be honoring me. I'm not going to lie. Especially because I be camping some people. You know what I'm saying? And I don't get no thank you, but they be like 10-0 and they act like it wasn't me. And I'm like, I better get an honor. Prestige Blood Moon Aatrox. Ooh, it's coming back. I really wanted that. Oh, it's 150. Ew. Dark Star Malphite 150. Ew. Star Guardian Jinx Chroma Icon 40. Really? Only 40? Leaving the Mystic Shop. Abe, Evelyn, Lucian. Okay. Silent Bug fix. Just like the champion, right? That fixes everything. New skinny weenies. How Morgana and Syndra have the same pose. But that's pretty much it. That was a big rundown, wasn't it? Man. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. Like I said before, you know, these dragon changes were nuts. Like I said before, though, if you guys are a first-time student, remember, my first-time students, you guys are getting, I think it's 35. So $15 for a coaching session if it's your first time. Remember, use the code FIRST. I'll have the code below. Use that during checkout of the full coaching session, and you will be able to get it for 15 bucks instead of the full price 50, only for your first session. As I said, if you've already been coached by me, you can't use it, and it will not work. But if it does manage to work, you will not be refunded. You'll just have to either get a VOD review, or I will wait and you can pay the extra, and then you can actually get like a full coaching session. So remember, only first time students. If you've never been coached by me, go ahead and go to coachbecker.com, go to the full coaching session and then put in the code FIRST. You will only have to pay 15 bucks for a $50 lesson on your first session. So thank you guys for watching. Much appreciated. Hope you guys reach your goals by the end of the year. Peace, peace. Late, Udyr rework coming soon. Also, I'm going to be playing ADC account coming soon, too. And also want to do some extra videos. So we'll see kind of what's going on. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Peace, peace, late. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good night whenever you're watching this. And thank you guys for approaching this like a coach.